Dad's been missing for years. Everybody said that he killed Mom before he left. You've been missing for a hell of a long time. And for what?
Eric, just listen to me. I think I found out where Dad went.
No, I don't want to hear this, okay? Dad is dead!
I found his laptop.
Which is encrypted, okay? There's no telling what kind of security he had on that thing.
I'm in. We have full access, and I know where he was headed last.
You should go, Eric. It's been driving you crazy for years. You know, under other circumstances, this place could be really beautiful.
I know what you mean. Okay, I get the hints. After all this, how about we go on mini vacay or something, or camping?
Please, maybe a beach.
Okay, pina coladas. The whole 9 yards.
Okay. We'll find out what happened. This is the closest we've ever been.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to stay positive, you know? I don't get why my dad would leave us for a place like this. I mean, there's literally no good reason. Why here?
Only one way to find out. Eric, look.
Oh, I know exactly what you saw. Those were the legendary Appalachian Lights. My granny used to talk about those. You folks, you were lucky to have seen them. Most folks don't. There are many stories about those lights. Some good, some bad. I believe this, though, because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Be careful what you're searching for out there. Your daddy may have been after the treasure, too. They say the treasure is guarded by demonic forces, cursed coal miners, forced to kill anyone that crosses their paths. You didn't think it was gonna be that easy, did you? Nighty night. Don't let the coal miners bite.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Podcast of Traveling Actors. Your host here, my name is Brandon Wall, and this is
Deaton Gabbard. Why did you do that so slowly?
I wanted to change it up a little bit.
It was cracking me up,
Yeah.
though. I didn't expect that.
All right, well, there you go.
Anyway.
All right, and we have a very, very, very special guest today. It's a guy who brought us all together at one point for the first time.
Yeah.
Cameron Dyer. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
How you doing, Cam?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
You got a nice little mustache growing in there. I like it.
Yeah, I gotta shave sometime, but lost my shaver, so you know how I go.
He said you not go.
It's fine. Well, just a little bit of background on Cam. Like Brandon said, it's literally what brought us all together. Like, I worked with him on his first short film called Darkest Before the Day, and that led to us writing and producing and doing everything on this feature film called Broken Vows, which last minute we cast Brandon because everyone else didn't want to do it. And whenever we cast
sloppy seconds live on.
And literally Brandon was not who we pictured at all. Like, we wanted someone who was nerdy and who was like small, and he was like more muscular than me and probably should have played my character, honestly, like based off of the description. But yeah, it was crazy. Like, that was a fun time because, I mean, for Brandon, I still don't know why he did this. Like, when we go back and think about it, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Long story short, 'cause I'm not going to draw this out any longer than what it needs to be. I was already in Florida. They already went ahead and cast me for the role, and they were offered to come pick me up in Florida while I was already there.
In like a white van.
So we were in Daytona, and we were driving they were picking me up from Daytona, and we would drive all the way to Venice Beach, Florida. When they arrived, it was a sketchy van, I will say the least. And I've never met these people a day in my life. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do this. So then I get in the back with two twin guys.
Dakota and Blake Bright.
Cam was driving. And then little background story. I looked up the profile, and Deaton's profile picture at the time was him full of blood all over him.
From Darkest Before the Day.
And then Cam was looking out of an airport window, and stuff didn't add up. So I was a little worried. But here we are. So we made it. We made it through the day.
And it was fun. It was honestly like, I mean, the movie's out there. You can watch it on YouTube. It's on Cobra Pit Productions. It is a movie. It definitely
There's a start to finish.
There's a movie there. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, so the fact that we actually got it done and got it out there, I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
And it took a while. It took like a good 1.5 or 2 years because we did like 6 days in Florida and then like 3 or 4 other days in various times for Kentucky. We had a lead actress that changed their hair. And so we had to wait like 4 months before we could even film again. Oh man, that made me
Cam, how did you get started on that anyways? Like what inspired you to want to do that particular story?
Well, I think I mean, I don't know if anything inspired us to make Broken Vows. I think we were just trying to make like a movie after Dark Before the Day that just like could tell a story, and we didn't really have like a crazy budget, so we couldn't like go over the top and make like some crazy horror film. So we went basically just with like a sad romance story that had a good message, I guess, at the end. And make it unique.
A good message. It was very interesting.
Be careful who your friends are.
Yeah,
that's a message.
Yeah, that's what
I could see that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, message. Yeah, sure, message. Why not?
He looked at you when he said that too. So.
I mean, I guess the message was not to work with me, but here we are. I don't know. Yeah. So what exactly? I mean, you talked a little bit about Broken Vows, but the first film, Darkest Before the Day, you were in school for that, right? You were at BCTC?
Yeah.
What exactly was the idea behind that?
I've always liked zombie films like The Walking Dead. I didn't watch Walking Dead before I made it, but I got into Walking Dead recently. But I've always been like fascinated with like zombie films. So they wanted us to make a film for our last project that had to be like 10 to 15 minutes. And I've always written scripts and stuff before I was even in school, kind of. So I was just going back to scripts that I've written, and Darkest Before the Day kind of was the film that stood out to me that I feel like I could have made the best at the time.
Well, that kind of started your career off, though. I guess, was that your first film that you ever made? Like short film or whatever? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that kind of led your path to be where you're at now. And speaking of that, so you're back in school now. So what kind of motivated you to go back to school?
Kind of just people saying that, I guess helping in me like want to get a degree, I guess, in film, because I already have a certificate in film, but to get like a 4-year degree might be beneficial later on.
Do you feel like it's helped you out at all? Like now, do you feel like you can see improvement?
I think it's helped more in like just having confidence in what I do and stuff. So I'll say that's probably the best thing about it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it helps to. I mean, that definitely helps with me for acting classes. Yeah. Is like you kind of have like a base of what you're doing, and you're not just winging it. Yeah. I mean, we still kind of wing it, but you're not just winging it as much anymore. So then from there, we started Cobra Pit Productions, which was Cam's idea. I remember what exactly. I don't think we've had this conversation actually. What exactly made you want to name it Cobra Pit Productions?
So it's kind of a funny story. But my ex-girlfriend had 3 pet snakes. So one of them was it was like 2 garden snakes and not a python, but like something like that. Like a big snake. But so that kind of always had my brain thinking, I guess, along the snake realm. And then my name on PlayStation is also Cobra Season. So I kind of just wanted to do something with a snake, and Cobra was kind of just the first name. And then I think you said Pit, and then I was like, oh, Cobra Pit Productions. That sounds like a good name. And that's how that came about.
Awesome. I don't know if we've ever had that conversation, so that's interesting to hear that.
there's a couple people that have asked me why we named it Cobra Pit
I asked you,
Productions.
and I feel like you didn't give me an answer. So
He made that up in the
now I
time
got
that
my-
you
yeah,
asked.
yeah, now
He's
you
made that
gave me
up.
an answer.
He wrote it. He went back and wrote it down in the story.
All right, so let's get on the real topic. All right, deep within the cave.
Well, hold on.
No, what? Come on.
Wait. So we have since then we have produced and written at least 7 short films, a web series pilot called Railroad to Hollywood that we talked about.
Yeah.
And now we are going into our most ambitious project yet, which is a feature film called. Now you can say it.
Are you sure? Deep within the caves. I'm so sorry.
You got to build it up.
Yeah.
So it didn't always start with Deep Within the Caves, though. So Cam, what did it start as?
Yeah, so I cannot remember for the life of me. I would have to check. But what the name of it actually was originally?
It was called Into the
But it was
Unknown.
gonna be what did you say?
It was called Into the Unknown.
Oh yeah, it was. You're right. How do you remember that?
He said, "How did you remember that?"
It's a film. It was a film about an Alaskan, like in a mining town in Alaska. That it's like a true story, but it's a mining town in Alaska that it was like rustling and bustling back in the day, and then like for some reason, just some unknown reason, a lot of the people there died in this mine shaft explosion or whatever, and like after that, they just moved out of town and became like a ghost town. But if you go back there, they say that you see people, like you'll see like this white girl in a white dress standing in next to like a bedroom window looking out, and you'll just start seeing stuff. So the film Into the Unknown was basically a story about that. But going to Alaska was a lot of money.
So that sounds like a really cool story. What are we actually doing? No.
So we changed it to a little bit more locally. So Deep Within the Caves kind of transitioned into that, and the story kind of changed a little bit.
The story changed quite a bit. I feel like
yeah,
we
the
still
story
center
changed.
around the group going missing and the dad and stuff. Trying
So
not to spoil it.
what? This is the question that I was curious on. After the proof of concept that you all did you all get a lot of traction from that? Did you all get a lot of good feedback from that? And people were like, you know what, I would love to invest in that.
I'm not really on like the business side of things. I think we did though. It felt like after that, like
Well,
a lot
there
of
was a
stuff
question for
happened.
both of you guys.
Yeah,
And
we did. A lot of people. I think the thing with the proof of concept was it was basically bringing everything that we knew from these other projects that we did, and bringing in people that knew better than us, like Jaron, for example. Like Jaron is fantastic as a cinematographer.
Kyle's amazing.
And Kyle's great at sound. And so like what that really showed was like, here's what we can do with $1,000. Because in the past we've used money poorly, to be honest. Like, I mean, Broken Vows, I think it was like $18,000 to $20,000. And again, we didn't really know what we were doing. So this kind of solidified that, hey, we have grown quite a bit in those 6 years. And so, we've gotten a lot of traction from that. But the best part about it is that the proof of concept shows just parts of Act 1. Like, it shows nothing spoilery about the rest of the movie. And
I don't really even think it spoils anything.
No.
I mean, I think
No,
it's
no.
pretty quick to the point.
it just gives you just enough of a taste that you want to see more about it.
You guys need to check it out if you have not already.
Yep.
Definitely go check that out because it's amazing proof of concept. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in it.
That was the worst part, actually. And we had to do it. I mean, I couldn't find anyone else to do it for free.
Last minute edition.
Yeah, last minute. And actually, I will give credit to this. We heard in another podcast episode where Brandon learned like in what the drive up
The
for a feature
35
film.
minutes, because
he didn't get a script.
They did not attach a
I
script
sent it
to my
him.
email.
I proved it. I sent it to you.
So, anyways, I learned it, and it actually, I mean, it was very well written, and I will give that to you, Cam. It was very well written already then, and it made it that much easier just for me to jump right into it. Because
So why were you so bad? No, I'm kidding.
So why was your
So why were you so bad? But yeah, you can check out the proof of concept on our YouTube channel, Cobra Pit Productions. You can also see a bunch of our short films. Broken Vows is on there too if you just want to get high and watch something funny. I'm just saying.
You have to do something.
To be honest. But Cam, something different that we've done for this film in particular is that we have focused way more on the script and making sure it's a tight script. So can you just kind of tell me how you feel about the process? Because we went from a first draft as way back as far as I think is October of 2022, if I'm correct. And now we are in our fourth draft, nearing our shooting script. So what was that process like for you, and how much do you hate me after working with me?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, tightening up the script definitely was tough because I always like I don't like taking away stuff, I guess. And when I originally wrote it, like 290 pages, I want to say, like it was probably close to 3 hours long. So taking out like 60 pages definitely was a struggle, but I think that getting down to just having the most important stuff, or like stuff that only develops the story and not having like filler that's not needed, definitely helps. And I think it's helped with other films that I've already writing too.
So you feel like it's making you a better editor? You can kind of see where to tighten stuff up as far as the script goes.
For sure, yeah, I think
see
so.
that. Yeah, it was very tough because but that's something that is really important, and I encourage everyone to do is get feedback from other people. Like get as much
Yeah,
feedback as you
exactly.
can from people that are not involved in the project, because they'll give you the real like details that you need to
Yeah.
fix. I mean, we ended up having to unfortunately take one of our favorite scenes out because it just didn't make sense after all the rewrites. And like we fought and fought and fought to keep it in, but it just came to the point that it was forced in and we had to take it out, which
Yeah.
sucks. But I mean, it's for the betterment of the movie, and you can always bring it back in another film. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what do they have you doing at school right now? What are you working on, any projects at school, or do you have any short films they're having you all do there? Or?
Nothing like too like crazy, nothing like too many big projects, but one of my classes which I have coming up today is it's like a broadcast TV station and stuff. Like I'm basically I have it every semester, but last semester I was one of the camera hops. This time I'm running like the soundboard, like the mixer. So that's fun. There's like a bunch of different like buttons
Gives
that
you
I
like a
can
little
push.
different aspect on what how it is to do sound, or I
Yeah.
guess that's a little bit different, I guess, if you're doing mixing on broadcast, but I mean essentially same thing.
Yeah, have to mute mics and
Yeah.
mute audios.
Is it weird, like going back to school after already having experiences on sets? Like
You feel
everyone
Yeah.
like you learn a lot of the same stuff?
Yeah, and you could tell that I'm definitely more experienced than almost every single person in my class.
Yeah, which is nice too, because we actually talked about that a few times on different podcasts. Is just getting set experience. Yeah. Whether you're starting off as an actor, or if you want to be a director or whatever, you start off as a PA and you work your way up. But you get on set and you kind of experience how it is to be on a real set. I mean, you get that training, and then you go to school. I mean, you're already a step ahead of everybody, honestly.
Yeah.
especially with the film we have coming, like we're working on now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're trying to make it a SAG set. So will that be your first SAG set you're on, Cam? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And if anything, I want to, like, if possible, like, get some PA classmates and stuff. Like, I would offer some of the classmates as PAs, if possible too, which I think would be cool.
So also, we didn't really talk about this either. Tell us your involvement in Deep Within the Caves. Like, what shoes do you wear on that project?
I'm the main Wido, and the Deaton's like the secondary Wido. But mostly I'm just the Wido / storyteller.
And are you
And producer.
Well, me and Deaton both do cast. Like, we look at who's we're casting though, so I guess it's kind of a casting guy too.
Yeah.
Well, you're a producer, so
yeah.
you sit in on the casting and stuff,
Yeah,
and you're part of
yeah.
those decisions. Yeah. I mean, it's your baby. You want to be a part of the entire process. Obviously, you've been in all the production
Yeah.
meetings. I mean, like you've had all the input as far as where we're going with it.
So when do we plan on shooting this? When are we slated?
Well, I know we're filming in May. So May like 6th to 24th is when we're filming.
Does pay attention? Yes, that's right.
So
That is right. Yeah. May 6th through May 24th. Right now, we are currently in investing mode or fundraising mode.
Yeah.
So I've already plugged this in one podcast episode, but I'll do it again. We are selling investment units at as low as $3,000 for the first tier and as high as $30,000 for the 5th tier. So if anyone is interested or you know a producer, get in touch with us at Deep Within the Caves Film Casting at, what is it, DWTC? No, I think it's Deep Within the Caves. I lied. It is DWTCfilmcasting@gmail.com. And I will correct that in the last episode because I think I said the wrong thing. But it was awesome having you here, Cam. Man, so what do you besides Deep Within the Caves? I mean, I know you've got like 100 other scripts like under your belt right now. Is there one that you could kind of like pitch to us right now without any spoilers? Like, what would be the next one you would want to work on?
Yeah, so if this one goes good, the next film that I want to do is like a shark film because I love shark movies, even though I hate sharks in real life. But there's this film called Shark Bit that I'm writing, and it's about a story about these group of friends that they're like struggling with like the everyday life, and they're just doing the 9 to 5, just day-to-day job. And one week during the year, they're like, let's all go out to like some vacation to like I don't know what island. It's like Fuji Island or something. It's like New Asia, but they go out here and they're just enjoying this vacation. But there's a tropical storm that comes and swoops over the island and floods half the island. So while it's flooded, there's like sharks in the water. Then they have to basically, so it's like a survival film, but they have to survive the elements and not get eaten by the sharks.
It kind of reminds me of like a mix between Crawl and like one of those with like Sharknado or something.
Yeah,
kind of like a
that.
mixture
Yeah,
between the two.
Crawl is kind of what inspired it, similar.
Yeah,
That's interesting. You see, now my brain goes into producing, but I'm like, that sounds expensive. It sounds so expensive. We got flood an island, Cam. Come on, no, I'm kidding. But no, that sounds awesome though. So just imagine the things that Cam's gonna come up with whenever he doesn't have like a limited budget. Because like I've seen most of his scripts and they are amazing.
Yeah.
And this is why we are, partners in Cobra Pit Productions, is because I've seen so much potential in Cam and I can't wait to see that blossom.
Yeah.
So where can everyone follow you at, Cam? Like, what's your social media?
Well, on Instagram, just type in Cobra SG1. I don't know if you want to link it or not, but that's my Instagram. On Facebook, it's Cam Dyer, so CAM space Dyer DYER. Or you can follow Cobra Pit Productions. I'm also on there. So those are basically the 3 main things. I'm not really on Twitter, or X, if you want to call it now.
Anyone is anymore, really. I think it died.
I think X is more of a Gen Z thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're old, guys. We're getting old.
Like who was it? Was it PJ?
PJ was talking about
being
TikTok.
old with Facebook.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm straight Facebook.
I'm not on TikTok, though. I'm not on TikTok. Maybe we should start doing TikTok.
Yeah, start doing a TikTok, man. It'll be fun.
All right. Well, Cam, thanks, buddy, for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you on. Have a great day at class.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And next time, tune in on another episode of Podcast of Traveling Actors. Until next time.
We'll see you then.